A very good morning to you, dear listener, and welcome to Perspectives, a current affairs discussion program on Agate Radio 95.5 Star FM, Makurdi, Benue State. Today's edition of Perspectives, our discussion is on sensitization, on curbing the cases of child trafficking as the festive season approaches. Previous experiences have shown that during this festive season, the risk of child trafficking seems to increase, and Benue has been a flashpoint for some of these cases in the past. And currently, too, there are some reported cases and incidents of child trafficking, which is why we have chosen on this edition to give a spotlight on these issues. We shall discuss the consequences and prevention strategies. We will explore ways to protect our children and communities from preying syndicates of suspected traffickers who may want to lure our children and exploit them, be it labor-wise or other aspects that may endanger our communities. I've been joined here on the program by two panelists who will drive this conversation. The Public Relations Officer of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, Makurdi Zonal Command, Mrs. Torkwase Yaji, is our guest on Perspectives this morning. Welcome to the program, Mrs. Yaji.
Thank you very much, Nats. Good morning, listeners.
We also have a member of the Network Against Child Trafficking and Labor, NACTA, Mr. Jimmy Oche. Welcome to Perspectives, Mr. Oche.
Thank you very much. Good morning, listeners.
I am Nathaniel Nongu, welcoming you to this Friday edition of Perspectives. And if this is your first time tuning into the program, just be informed that Perspectives is audience participatory. It usually takes the airwaves on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 9 and 11 a.m. And usually at 10 o'clock, we allow you, the listener, to phone in and share thoughts with us on the subject matter we are focusing on. And you can do so by reaching us on this edition too later at 10 o'clock through the number 0814-335-9292. 0814-335-9292. The SMS line, which will be available soon as we begin the conversation, is 0912-699-9404. 0912-699-9404. That line is also available on WhatsApp. And if you are utilizing that platform to reach us to contribute, please remember to include your full name and the address where you are sending your message from. Log on to our website on www.agateradio.tv.com to access content of Agate Radio there. And of course, our program is streaming there as well. You can also download the Agate Radio and TV app from Google Play Store. This app is a one-stop one that avails you the platform of our newspaper, television, online, and of course, you listen to the radio there as well. You can find us on Radio Garden and on social media platforms where our content is also there, and this program is streaming there as well. Join us on these platforms to be a part of the conversation. Our conversation will begin, but that will be after this short break that we are embarking on. Kindly stay with us. We'll be back shortly. Thank you for staying with us, dear listener, and welcome back from that short break. Mrs. Yaji, I'd like to begin with you. Kindly give us a brief background on what constitutes child trafficking.
Before I start, would like to ask if we really know who a child is. But according to the Child Rights Act, a child is anybody who is less than 18, and for us at NAPTIP, a child is anybody who is less than 18. And then the next question will be child trafficking. And what is child trafficking? Child trafficking is the exploitation of children for various purposes, and which includes child labor, which includes sexual exploitation, recruiting children for house help, that's domestic servitude, and sale of babies.
All right. So, what is the experience concerning Benue, especially with some of this that constitutes child trafficking?
But for us in Benue, it will surprise you that all the forms of trafficking, of all forms of exploitation mentioned here, we are all involved in it.
Okay, Mr. Oche, let me have your thoughts on what, from your point of view as a member of the Network Against Child Trafficking and Labor, NACTA, what constitutes a child trafficking from the perspective of your network?
All right, thank you very much. Just like the PRO of NAPTIP have said, child trafficking is when children are being moved, okay, from one location to another. It could be within the country, it could be cross-border, okay, for the purposes of labor exploitation, sexual exploitation, labor, whatever infringes on their rights and causes harm. These are the things that constitute what we call child trafficking. Most of the times, these children are taken, out of their own will or doing a better life in the new location that we can. And like she said, Benue is one of the top points for trafficking cases in Nigeria, and it's really a sad one. Okay, we've had cases, recorded cases of children being moved from here, okay, to even across out of the country to other African countries, right, under the guise of child labor, promised better life, but at the end they are trafficked. So this is just a brief intro as to how child trafficking affects us here in Benue State.
Okay, Mrs. Yaji, your co-panelists just pointed out Benue being a flashpoint for these cases. To what extent is this verifiable with NAPTIP?
Well, before any statistics of trafficking goes out, NAPTIP brings out the statistics of the number of children who are trafficked in Benue. You could recall that in 2023, to be precise, November, and the then Director General, Professor Fatima Waziri, declared Benue a hub for trafficking. And then I would like to let you know that NAPTIP is very aware of the increased incidence of child trafficking in Benue State, or let's say human trafficking, because child trafficking is another form of human trafficking. So we get arrests every day, we get calls every day through our various partners like NACTAL and some transport companies, and then of course some community leaders call us for some intervention. So NAPTIP is very aware that trafficking cases are on the increase in Benue every day.
Okay, and are there identifiable flashpoints within the Benue territory where these cases are on the increase?
Yes, like I said on this program before, sometime earlier this year, that NAPTIP have identified some red flag local governments which children are moved massively for exploitative purposes, and one of the most recent cases we have cases of movement of people from their local government to other places, which is mostly international, crossing the borders. And these local governments are Gwe East, we have Okom, we have Logo, we have Guma, we have Makurdi, we have Obi-Oju.
Yeah.
My Jimmy will agree with me that some part of Vandikia, and then Makurdi itself is another hub for recruiting children. We say recruitment because trafficking involves recruitment.
Yeah.
You must come and recruit for you to be taken away.
Yeah.
Okay, Jimmy, you would like to add a word to, based on your observation, the network, you are there actively in the field, the flashpoints you have come
Yeah,
across.
I think she's put it straight. These local governments have actually been flashpoints. Ukum, yes. In fact, particularly when you talk of labor exploitation, you call Obi, Oju. These are very two strategic places in the Benue North Southeast zone, where you have children being moved to the western part of this country, for labor exploitation in the name of we're going to pay you, and then we get children come back with very horrific experiences. That is for those who are even able to, come back eventually. So she said it all. Transport companies, yes. I think that was last week. I was coming from Lagos. At a checkpoint, we still had a soldier because we had a child in the vehicle. Luckily, that child had the mother anyways. But the soldier was telling us that at that point, that a few days ago, they had 4 children rescued out of a vehicle, all right, from Benue, being trafficked to the western part of this country. So I think I align with her views. These are flashpoint areas in the state where we have this recruitment going on.
Okay, Mrs. Yaji, how does the approaching festive season increases vulnerability of human trafficking, focusing on child trafficking in particular, which is our discussion?
You will agree with me that during the festive season, there's a lot of movement going around. People traveling, people shopping, people doing a lot of things, the last minute, the last hour preparation. And I would like to let us know that even traffickers move around during this season. This is the season they come back home, bring all the juicy stories for you to allow them pick your child so that maybe for any reason go to school, go to work, or come stay with me and I will give you a better life. And this is a season where parents are being pressured to do a lot of things, and everybody is busy and leaving the children unaccompanied. So children are being left alone, and anything can happen. But like I earlier said, the recruitment process starts from where you are being busy. And we should know that as we are being busy, traffickers are watching us and are putting an eye on where the loopholes are so that they can strike.
All right. So we should watch the loopholes, which we are going to discuss them more exhaustively. Jimmy, Oche, the vulnerability of the approaching festive season, to what extent and what are those loopholes?
Okay, just to add to what the NAPTIP PRO has said. Again, you have the luring, what I would call the luring.
Yes.
Luring in that in this season, everybody wants new clothes, new shoes. All right. So another of the loophole would be the desire for gifts. And somebody can come and said, okay, I'll give you this, I'll give you that. And then perhaps the victim has never experienced such kind of luxury. So it comes with those kind of stuff. I'll give you this, I'll give you that, and then you begin to see that, this person, it feels like this person has my interest in that, and then the person is coming to say, okay, I'm going to take you to a place, you're going to have this so much in abundance, you're going to enjoy yourself like this, and before you know, even the victim would desire, to want to follow the person, even if maybe the parents or the guardian are trying to be resistive, but you have even the victim wanting to say, if this person can give me this, okay, why not? Why can't I follow him? I'm going to have a better life out there. So just in addition to what she said, these are part of the loopholes that we have during the festive season. The season comes with a lot of goodies. The season comes with a lot of expectations that to flow in the crowd, I just have to get up, get some stuff myself. And somebody watching that point of vulnerability can, intrude on the victim.
Okay. Mrs. Yaji, it is alleged that some of these suspected traffickers operate as syndicates and even get collaborators within communities. To what extent is this true, and have you come across such cases?
Yes, trafficking is a clandestine, and it's like a cabal of people working together, and it's clandestine in nature, because the trafficker is even at the far end.
Yeah.
The recruiter is different. The person who lures you is different. The recruiter is different. The middle person is different. The one who transports the transportation to the transport company is different. The one who received these children is different. So you see, when you are investigating cases of human trafficking, you go on and on and on, and the arrest is like forever. But with all this, you will know that it is a step-by-step movement of individual. Yeah. Why did I say that? Because it involves a lot of people.
Okay, Mr. Oche, to what extent, based on your experience with NACTA, have you identified some of the syndicates, the collaborators within communities?
Yes, just like she has said, it's a whole lot to deal with. If you look at the stages from the recruitment to the middle persons to the transport to who finally gets the children, it's a whole lot of process that if you want to deal with, most of the times, if you are even trying to investigate it, there's a cutoff. Because maybe at the end of the process, the recruiter doesn't want to be caught, so can end up interrupting the process. You find sometimes people are being lured to take certain oaths, just so mentioned. And sometimes even the persons at the middle point don't even know those at the receiving end. So it's a whole complex system that it gets difficult. For instance, during the holidays, it's just like she said, someone comes to the village and tells this widow, for instance, that let me help you with your children. The person takes the children, gets to a big city, hands the children over to someone. That person hands the children over to someone. That person hands the children over to someone. So it's a whole complex stage that, if you really want to, you could possibly maybe hold on to one at one end, but getting the whole syndicate, as the question is, it's a really complex process.
All right. Now, let's dovetail a bit more into the tactics. What are the common tactics used by traffickers, especially during the approaching festive season, Mrs. Yaji?
First, like Jimmy said, luring. That's the first tactics they use. They come with beautiful gifts. You can see somebody wear beautiful clothes, and then you now ask, I love this dress, so you like it. Don't worry, I'll show you how to get it. And you will want to, for children, they will want to really hear what will make them get those clothes. And I would like to give you an instance here. I think in 2018, here in Makurdi, there was a lady that I noticed around a street. She was always giving children sweets, biscuits, always. And one day I just had to approach her that, Madam, you always give people children. Because me, I cannot just wake up and dash somebody's child anything. Your parents must know about it. I don't think it's a good thing. After 2 days, we discovered that this woman, through those tactics of luring, was able to pick up 2 children to sell them in. So the first process is the luring process. They must lure, and before recruitment, they show you what they have. Of course, you see it, but they don't tell you the process that they go through in getting those things. No one tell you what they go through before getting it juicy. So that is the first step, is the luring step before the recruiting step.
Okay, Oche, let's talk more about these tactics. What such tactics they come to lure unsuspecting persons in our communities?
Particularly in Benue, you find the promise of a better life. Basically because of the nature of insecurity in Benue, high cases of internally displaced persons, all right? So when you go around these extra homes, so already these children have been faced with some form of uncomfortability. So there's the promise of a better life. So if I come to you, I tell you, follow me, I'll make your life better than the way it is. And of course, no child wants to suffer, continuously. So this one is even deep because in these cases, the recruiters even go to the parents, of the children. And in most cases, when you hear that, a parent who wants to hear that my child is going to be given a better life, all right, will definitely want to consent. Where in NAPTIP office, I think it was 2 years ago, came to greet the commander, and she had this story, some children who were rescued from Kum, and that when the discussion went on, it was discovered that the parents even gave consent, that these children be moved. And among these children were found children of 2-3-year-olds. So the promise of a better life is even thicker because these ones, the parents are involved. Maybe the community could even be involved, okay, because the promise comes very lofty, and you have felt the pain where you are coming from, so you want something that will be better, and that's how they get lured.
All right, Mrs. Yaji, from the point of Oche's submission, some of these displaced persons, it means they are vulnerable. To what extent is NAPTIP taking sensitization to them?
Sensitization in the IDPs is ongoing. We don't stop at that. We work hand in hand with SEMA. Any case of trafficking being noticed in the IDPs, they call us immediately. So we have carried out sensitization. I think for within Benue, in Makurdi, we have almost all the IDPs camp. And I will state here that yes, we get cases from the IDP, but continuous sensitization, because they need to know that this is an inhuman act. Then on children, then it's crazy. So sensitization is ongoing.
All right. Oche, from your network, NACTA, to what extent are you engaging with the communities to give a sensitization so they get to understand some of these?
Yes, in NACTA, what we do is that we empower our members to go and carry out further sensitization in communities, okay, not just to the people in the community, also to community leaders and equally to other stakeholders. NACTA has carried out sensitization to the Sarikin here in Benue. We've done sensitization in Otukpo local government, particularly with the transport people, because this is where the movements take place. We encourage our members to carry out sensitizations. Some of our members have done sensitizations in secondary schools here in Benue State. One of our partner members were in the IDP, Abagen IDP camp last month. The sensitization was done there. Another of our partner members were in Wanune, okay, during the International Day of the Girl Child. Sensitization was equally carried out on trafficking. Then we also partner with NAPTIP, also for prosecution of cases. We've been able to refer 1 or 2 cases to NAPTIP, okay, and we have this strong support from NAPTIP to ensure that cases that are referred are equally being prosecuted. So this is how far we have gone as a network.
Okay, Mrs. Yaji, how can community leaders and traditional rulers contribute to the fight against child trafficking?
Like I would always say, the fight against human trafficking is not just for NAPTIP alone, it's for everybody. Yeah. We need to put all hands to be on deck to fight this inhuman act. For community leaders, most of the recruiters are from the community levels. We like to tell them that, look, your children are doing this, so please, can you make a declaration or can you call a town hall meeting towards a sensitization drive so that people will know that yes, this crime is on the increase, and we need to be watchful. And then we also involve religious leaders, because you believe that you all agree with me that the church is no doubt a place for change, and it's good that our religious leaders too are involved in this, the fight against human trafficking, of which they are doing a lot. So community leaders are involved in town hall meetings and dialogues, so that people will know, and then we'll see how. Sometimes some of the community leaders that we have engaged, they are even involved in the arrest. If they notice anything, they arrest and then call us. And then I know that they involved in the rescue of children also, and then call us and see how these children will be empowered and go back to school, and then letting know their parents that if you have given consent for this, if you come again, we're going to arrest you.
All right. Oche, is there a word you would like to add on how community leaders can contribute to the fight against child trafficking?
Community leaders are the voice of their people. When you come from the outside, you look like an outsider. And that's why we do our sensitization with the community leaders, because we believe that when they speak to their people listen to them faster and better. And then we also agree that customary laws are still existent in this side of the country. So we try to sensitize community leaders to ensure that these are even enshrined in their customary laws, that if someone is being maltreated or a child is being moved by a stranger and the whereabouts of that child cannot be ascertained, then the people involved, we have to bear accountability for it. So the community leaders have so much to do. Then they know the terrains very well. They know the clans, they know the heads. They can talk to their clan heads, so that it's a whole process. You talk to the clan heads talk to the kindred heads. The families are being aware, so that as customary laws are being applied, if anyone is being flouted, then the community leaders get to know immediately.
All right, dear listener, if you are just tuning in, you are listening to Perspectives on Agate Radio 95.5 Star FM, Makurdi, Benue State. Our discussion this morning on the program is focused on sensitization of curbing cases of child trafficking as the festive season approaches. And leading the discussion here in the studio is the Public Relations Officer, National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, Makurdi Zonal Command, Mrs. Torkwase Yaji, and of course a member of the Network Against Child Trafficking and Labor. Mr. Jimmy Oche is a co-panelist. At 10 o'clock, you can participate on the program by calling in on the number 0814-335-9292. 0814-335-9292. In the meantime, the SMS line, which you can also participate by sending a text, either a regular text or a WhatsApp chat, is 0912-699-9404. 0912-699-9404. Kindly include your full name and the address where you are texting from. You may also log on to our website on www.agateradio.tv.com to follow our live stream and access other content of Agate Radio as well. You can download the Agate Radio and TV app from Google Play Store, on Radio Garden, and on social media platforms. So please follow us. You may drop your comments on the live stream link if they are related to the subject matter we're discussing. Definitely, we will take it as your contribution. Mrs. Yaji, let's talk more about what measures parents and guardians can take at this particular time during the approaching festive season to protect their children from the preying eyes of traffickers.
Children during this period or any other day, their children are not. Have been seeing missing children flying, pictures of missing
Online.
children flying.
Yes.
That shows that those children, maybe they are not accompanied or are left alone. I can't imagine leaving my 4-year-old or 5-year child at home alone. And then we should be very careful about the people we bring to the house, people around us, people on our street. We think we know people, but no. For us, everybody's a suspect. For us at NAPTIP, everybody's a suspect on trafficking issues or child abuse issues. Most especially our relatives. So you can't just say that you trust this relative and you let lose your guard. So parents should be intentional. We should know where our children are going. Children should take permission to be allowed to go anywhere, maybe unaccompanied. Children should be accompanied. Children should to be aware of trafficking issues and how traffickers come. It is very important.
All right. Ms. Oche, give us your thoughts on some ways parents can identify potential cases of child suspected traffickers and, of course, measures to protect their children.
Okay, so like she said, number one, you notice a strange person. You notice strange persons moving within your area, particularly for those who live in restricted areas like estates, like urban areas. You notice someone who is not familiar within the environment, moving around. You should raise an alarm. You should raise an alarm, and you should be very quick, with that. Most of the times, the challenge is it's not affecting me, so it does not concern me. And so some people just decide that it's not going to be my business. Please, trafficking is everybody's business. If it doesn't infect you, it is going to affect you in a way. So if you notice strange movements, all right, you should be cautious to call the authorities, especially where you don't know the person. Secondly is that our parents should also try to checkmate their children, particularly the teenagers who are active on social media, because one of the ways traffickers recruit is also via social media. There was a case, I think that should be in Nigeria a few months ago, where children were sexually abused and exploited under the disguise of beauty pageants. It was very pathetic. I read through that report. It was very pathetic. The recruiting agencies recruit them in the name of beauty pageants and then messes these children's lives up. So, and that's after collecting huge amount of money, from the parents. So I think that parents also should watch what their children do online, who they talk to. Parents should be mindful of the friends, the kind of friends, that their children keep as well during this time, because they can come through friends, okay? They can come through online. They can come through strange movements around. And I think also that parents should teach their children contentment. Let them know that not all that glitters is gold. Children should be content. The festive season is not about what you can wear, what you can eat. It should be about the message of the season. And children should be content with that. And so children should not be lured by gifts. They should be warned not to take gifts from strangers, not to follow anything that looks attractive, during the season. And just like she said, to crown it all up, let's be around our children. It's a good time. I mean, every time is a good time, but particularly in the festive season, it's a good time to be around your children. It's a good time to spend time with them. Thank God, at least most of that time, their children are even on holidays. So parents should make adequate arrangements to spend time with their children.
All right. Parents should make adequate time. Let's talk about what the role the schools can do. At the moment, schools are in session. What kind of messages should schools imbibe or give the children as they look forward to the vacation, the festive season approaching, Mrs.
Yaji? We earlier mentioned, that school sensitization is very important in carrying trafficking messages. And then it is also good that school authorities should remind these children that when you go home, such things still happen, and then they should be particular about abuse and how they leave the house without telling their parents. So children should be also vigilant. Children should be also vigilant, because the whole bulk of the game is they being aware of the situation and know how to handle it. If you don't understand how someone is relating to you, let me put it, open communication. Report to your parents.
All right. So even the schools have a role to play here.
Yes.
Of course.
Now,
Yeah.
Ms. Oche, to what extent has your NACTAL engagement been with the schools? When you take messages to them, what kind of engagement has it been like?
Yeah,
with the
we
school staff,
we
students and teachers.
Yes, not just students, we engage teachers too.
Yes.
Because recruiters can disguise as teachers. And we tell school management to ensure that they run background checks on their teachers. If you are getting a new teacher, you should run a background check. Okay, get to know who the person was before call to confirm this person is coming from. He said he claims he's coming from such location. Can you verify? Before this should be done before. Unfortunately, it's not being done. In most places, it's not done. So most times, recruiters disguised as teachers start having friendly relationship with these children. All of a sudden, the recruiter disappears. A certain amount of students are missing, in schools, and it becomes funny when you get that kind of scenario. So we engage students who've been massive with school sensitization. Some of our partner agencies have gone to more than 20 schools in Makurdi. Last week, Monday, one of our partner agencies were in Kasinala local government. We gathered about 10 schools, 6 to 10 schools, and then we spoke to them, particularly on trafficking. Okay, and like I said, some of our partners have gone to Wanune, that's Taka local government. So we are spreading across the entire state to ensure that every school gets this message, because this thing happens in the rural areas, particularly in the rural areas. So we try to engage schools in the rural areas to let the students know, and equally to let the teachers and the school management know that, hey, this thing is real and it's happening and it's coming from this end. So everybody should be on red alert.
All right. Now, let's talk about what role the civil society organizations can also play in assisting to prevent child trafficking. Mrs. Yaji.
One of the key strategies NAPTIP use in curbing this menace is partnership. We use the 5 Ps, but partnership is key. We collaborate with civil society organizations, especially NACTA, that is the Network Against Child Trafficking and Child Labor, in creating an awareness and then handling issues of human trafficking. Because, like I said earlier, issues of human trafficking is not just for NAPTIP alone. The government just established NAPTIP there so that to be is a focal agency, government agency mandated to fight the crime. But the partnership aspect, we partner with a lot of people. And talking about the school sensitization, sorry, I'm taking you back.
Okay,
but
no problem.
It will interest you to know that when the then Director General flagged Benue as one of the hub in the country, the International Center for Migration and Policy Development have a project that is going to be run in Benue State, which 50 schools will be involved. Yeah, the project is about creating awareness in those schools and raising vanguards in those schools. They want students to have hold of these messages and then have like a peer-to-peer talk on human trafficking. They feel that, yes, when it's done this way, that children will listen more and then stand up for themselves. And so I think it's going to be a huge one. It's a huge one already because it's to be flagged up very soon. So that is it.
All right. So the vanguards, Oche, are they existing, like she pointed out, are they existing in some of the schools, or is NACTA also collaborating with NAPTIP to set up more of the vanguards?
Yeah, the project she talked about is in partnership. The partnership is between NACTIP and NACTA. Okay, so some organizations, some of our members have been recruited for that project. Sensitizations are already going on. Workshops have taken place. Verifications have taken place. Soon as we'll see that project kickstart. But aside that project, some of our members in NACTA are already trying to see that we establish, some of these, because some members have key programs running in schools on periodic basis. So it is also an avenue they use to sensitize, to carry out this sensitization in these schools. Like some of our members do periodic school outreach campaigns, and as they do that, every term they are equally talking to the students to create that awareness, amongst themselves. And you have special programs coming up like Talent Festival, Talent Hunt. All these is just to ensure that, you have what it takes to be here. You don't need to go out. You don't need somebody to lure you to go out. You have talent, you have skills. Okay, you could do something here. So indirectly, those vanguards are actually going on, although not as direct as this project which NAPTIP is bringing to us is saying, but indirectly on the background, a whole lot of activities are actually going on.
And to add quickly, NAPTIP has established vanguards in some command schools. No, not some, not all the command schools in Benue. I think we have 2. Yeah. And then federal government schools, Federal Vandika, Federal Boko. So the remaining 2 will be done any moment from now. That is Otobi and Otukbo.
But so these are like township schools you are mentioning. How about the rural schools, the schools in the interior communities, in the hinterlands? Are you reaching them with a message?
You agree with me that Vandika is not in town. It's another local government entirely.
Anyway, I don't penetrated them.
Yes, we have penetrated some schools in we call it the LGE schools and government schools. And also,
okay.
Yes, there is none that's going to happen in the urban. It's all in the hinterlands.
So by the time this STEEP project kickstarts, these 50 schools we're talking about will be covered in the hinterlands. But in the time being, I can assure you that outreaches are going on there, basically in the hinterlands as well.
All right. So beyond schools, even community associations, in rural communities, there are several associations, including market associations. Are you engaging with them? Because these are where all parents and guardians seem to even belong to, and some even teenagers that can take the message. To what extent are you driving that?
Yes, NAPTIP take advantage of the market days in some communities to go. I was in a community to sensitize about trafficking, and most importantly, child trafficking. And a lady met me. She was selling, and she said, Kai, that me have said so much that she needs to talk with me. So, NAPTIP, when we're going for sensitization, we take a whole week. Investigators are with us because you have to investigate cases. Counseling sections are with us because that particular woman needed counseling, and she got it because we go like a team. It's not just a public enlightenment thing. And she told me that she had 3 kids, and once that child reaches 5 years, any of her child reaches 5 years, there's a woman in Benin that comes to get them through her husband. The husband was sitting under the tree, and he has lots of wife and children. And so once he's broke, what he does is call that particular woman come.
In Benin.
Yes. And when she said it, we came back with the reports, and we were able to rescue her children in Benin. So the man I think the man too needed counseling. He
course.
needed, because he didn't even know that what he was doing
was trafficking.
He said no. He was sending them to school, and then the woman gives him money, and I said, you don't even go to Benin to visit your children, and you are relaxed, and all that. And what were the children going to do? They were going to labor exploitation. So these children were rescued. The man was brought. We locked him up for just some time, but we still brought him out to let him know that if any report comes on this again within any of your wife, you will be prosecuted. So from time to time she calls and she tells us that the children are doing well and they're in school. She was selling. And I asked him, your wife is selling already. So why are you taking your children? And there are affordable schools around. Why are you taking your children to all the way from Benin? If the woman wants to help you, that transportation she's using to pick them, she should send it to you so that you send the children to school.
Wow. This sounds, Oche, this is really the hinterlands we are talking about here. All right. Have you come across more of such encounter in your engagement with
if I talked about Obi and the Oju areas, these are the issues, and it's like she just hinted, it's quite challenging when the parents are involved. Some parents don't know. Some parents, I don't want to say they are 100% aware. Some parents know, but feel that it's the best. All right? Time will fail us to mention cases who've had.
I think, Jimmy, I think the picture they envisage when they come to tell them that I'm taking your child to that person is going to stay in a very big house, comfortable, and all that. At the end of the day, yes.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, the child goes through the worst situation that
of course
he's even getting from his home.
Of course. And let me add, thank God I believe parents are listening to us.
Yes.
There are times where parents drive their children into trafficking with this issue of, you are old enough, you should be bringing something to the house by now. You are old enough, see your friends, they are making it, kind of. So you see a teenager who is around 15, 16, who's supposed to be in school, but is engaged into all kinds of stuff because they had needs to meet, in the house. And the parents have laid that burden of responsibility. These are the things we find within the areas. We've carried out cases in these two communities I mentioned. And then you hear these young people telling you that my mother said I have to bring something to the house. So it becomes challenging. In fact, it becomes and then the trick again is that this child is now getting something. He may be suffering, but he's getting money. And money is it's very luring. Because again, if you take the child off the labor, are you going to provide the need? It becomes another complex, case to handle. So these are some of the challenges you have in these hinterlands. You have cases where the parents are aware, or the parents are being deceived, or the parents are even the ones putting pressure on the children, to come back home with something, if not for anything, so that their younger ones can equally, go to school. So these are some of the stuff we find in the field.
By the way, before I'll get back to Mrs. Yaji, you mentioned you were about to speak on an issue in Oju. You wanted to give a scenario. Maybe help us understand so that people get the real picture of some of these cases.
Yeah, that is just partly what I've just said.
Yes.
Okay, the young girl, we met this girl in it was I think it was a gathering of young people, and we're privileged to go and carry out the sensitization there. And what's the problem? You're not in school, so what's going on? And then the mother is a widow. Okay, so the mother is the one saying, you go out and bring something. So she drives into all kinds of stuff. And the mother doesn't care where it comes from, as far as the need is being met. So who comes to take her, where she goes, what kind of labor she does, sometimes it's even sexual exploitation. The parents don't care. And by the time you even interact with the parents, like I said, by the time because I had to send someone to follow up the case. Although by the grace of God, we're able to pull the girl back to school, and then we're able to pay her school fees. But again, the mother was like, if she stops, so who who now meets this need? This is just one out of the several complex cases that we find, out there in the field.
Okay, Mrs. Yaji, how and what channels are available for cases of trafficking to be reported from rural communities, township, and everywhere?
For every sensitization and community engagement we have, church sensitization, and we drop hotlines for people to reach us. But NAPTIP is not everywhere. NACTAL can do the arrest for us and bring. We work with law enforcement agencies such as the Civil Defense, the Nigerian Police, and the Vigilante Group. So most times cases of human trafficking are being reported, most especially. I'll give you a scenario where in Gwe East, Alede, somebody came to live in that environment and had a girlfriend, because they take traffickers are very patient. He had a girlfriend in that area and was trying to traffic an albino to Cameroon, because he heard that Cameroon was the sale of albino is lucrative in Cameroon. So of course he succeeded, but do you know why? The mother of the child felt comfortable with him because they were neighbors, and said, please let me leave these children with you and I'll go to the market. And he felt it was an opportunity for him that he has been waiting for over a year, because they said he lived around there over a year. Because of the community engagement we had in Alede, market sensitization and all that, the Vigilante group were able to apprehend that child, and he was arrested. So it's to let you know that we should all be intentional.
Yeah.
And the reporting process, I think, before the end of the program, like we always do, and the opportunity to give you, Agate Radio gives us to sensitize general public on issues of trafficking. We share the numbers at the hotline, and we'll also do it before the program ends. Okay,
good enough. Jimmy Oche, speak to us. It's good that we are even bringing vigilante into this now. They are part of the communities. In your engagement as NACTA with them, what strategies should they watch out for from the point of recruitment, including transporters in local communities?
Okay, so we tell the vigilantes, because vigilante members are from the community. We expect that they should know most faces in the community. So if you find strange persons and strange movements, please you report. To transport companies, when a child who is less than, I don't know that, I think it's less than 10, and is traveling alone.
It's a sign.
It's a sign. 2, is traveling with someone and cannot identify the person. It's equally a sign. So we tell them at the park, please, if you see such a child and the child cannot identify this person, the transporting company reports either to NACTA or to NAPTIP. Security agencies will tell them, if you stop a vehicle, like when I was traveling to Lagos, Ibadan, rather last week, there was a child in a vehicle, but the child was traveling with the mother. But the woman was lucky because the child could not quickly say that, he just bent the head. And so somebody said, no, that's the mother. And the security man said, shh. So I told the person, I said, if this child was not able to say this is the mother, would have been there 4 children from that spot coming from Benue. and they could not identify the people that they were traveling with. So for all security agencies, transport companies, strange movement. Someone is carrying a child, and you notice that there is this struggle. Child is struggling to tag along with the person. It's enough to ask questions. Who are you? Why are you working with this child? And then if, for instance, the security, the vigilante knows the child within the community, ask the child, where are you going? Who is this person you are going with? And the child can already tell that this is the person I'm going with. It's okay. Even if it's safe, but at least let's investigate, let's check. Let's know who and be sure that this is you. Then you can either allow clearance or you apprehend the person, as the case may be.
I would like to add quickly, please.
Please do.
And I would like to commend security operatives on the way. They have a lot of rescue of children.
Yeah.
And I know that when the Jos crisis was at a high space, a baby of, I think, 2 days or 3 days was apprehended around that area. And the success story remains that the child is about, it was in 2013, the child is about
12, 13
13 years. She's big and she has been given out for adoption. And also children who are in vehicles that are always afraid. They walk in groups without knowing their direction.
Yeah.
That is also one of the signs. And then physically for us to raise alarm.
Are also good vanguards. A child is with a person, and then you keep hearing the child crying all the time, or you see, just like she said, a child with marks on the body, is enough to raise an alarm. Most of the times it's enough to raise an alarm because history shows us that most of the times these children who are trafficked are not properly kept. As a result, you see it, they'll come with signs on their body that they have been maltreated or they have been physically abused. So we encourage people living within the community too. If you see a neighbor, you notice this child is not the biological child of this person, and then is maltreating the child, it could be a pointer to trafficking.
And then very quickly, again, we would like to appreciate the Federal Road Safety Corps. They have been working hand in hand with NAPTIP in apprehending cases of human trafficking.
Yeah, and transporters generally, I'm really desirous that you should keep a word beyond the FRSC. Transporters, because some are not even registered transporters. The what you call normal kabu operating on the roads. What should they watch out for, Mrs. Yaji?
And like we have mentioned a lot of signs, we watch out children who are, in fear, always afraid of, they are alone, but are looking up and down. Know that the traffickers appear in a very wonderful way. They are always having some kind of leather, tobacco, all those stuff.
All right, we are due to start taking calls, but that will be after this breather. Stay with us. We'll be back. Welcome back from that short break. Dear listener, if you are just joining us, the program is Perspectives on Agate Radio. We are discussing sensitization on curbing cases of child trafficking as the festive season approaches. You can participate by calling in on the number 0814-335-9292, 0814-335-9292. Once you connect with us, please move away from your radio set. We would like to know your full name and where you are calling from. Then you go ahead and make your submission. Please keep it very brief. And the SMS line is also available. That line is 0912-699-9404. 0912-699-9404. Log onto our website on www.agitradiotv.com to listen to us and access other content as well. And follow our pages on social media. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives.
Thank you, Mr. Nathaniel. My name is Justin Omile. I'm calling from behind Augustina Institute, Makurdi.
Good to have you join us, Justin Omile.
Yeah, my regards to the panelists in the studio.
Thank you.
Yeah. Honestly, while I was listening to the discussion, I was like saying, why is it that the panelists have not touched on the angle as in the sources of remote causes of trafficking? Then, fortunately, the NAFTA person there touched on the issue of parents pressurizing their children, into going into these kind of vices. I have a personal experience whereby I have seen a mother who have decided to, isolate her daughter, one of her daughters, because the daughter was not bringing anything to the house. The other one that used to go about, used to come up with something. So she became an outcast. So those kind of situations, as far as I'm concerned, is one of the major reasons why the issue of trafficking of persons is on the increase. Because when the pressure becomes enormous, these girl children, more especially, even the boy children especially, don't have any option than to look for any other means of trying to get something and bring something back home. And I want to also let parents to understand that you cannot give birth to a child. The child at the tender age, and you expect the child to come and be feeding you, which is your responsibility. You are supposed to take care of this child. And at the age of 13, 15, you are expecting a child to come back and feed you. It's unfair. So parents should know that it is their responsibility to take care of these children from birth up to the level that when they get mature, they get to a certain level, they can give them assistance if need be.
Okay.
So I'm very, very happy that was touched on.
Thank you.
And most of other sources of child trafficking has been touched, but this one is one of the most important ones, which I commend the NAPTIP person.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling in, Justin. We appreciate you. Parents should not mount pressure unnecessarily, although we are not rationalizing it, but parents. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Perspectives.
Yes, this is Kwaza Vincent calling from North Bank, Makurdi.
Kwaza Vincent, you have a cold. Your voice is like that, I suppose.
Yes, yes. So,
okay.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Very well.
Yes, I greet the guests in the studio.
Thank you.
In fact, they have given us all what we need to know about child trafficking. As a parent, you need to take proper care of your children. You see, the major cause of this child trafficking is as a result of birth control that we don't have in Nigeria. Nigeria does not have a law regulating the number of children each family can bear. So parents go extra mile in giving birth to a number of children they cannot take care of because the mother is still healthy, the father is still young. They go extra mile, not minding their economic status. Because when you give birth to a number of children you cannot cater for, somebody can easily come here and tell you that this is your children, give me this one, let me go and train. And you have no option than to give because you cannot take care of them. So if the relevant authority can look into this issue of maybe like the way they do in China, that each parent having like 2 children or 3 at most, it will be better. This thing can be controlled because when you have 2 or 3 child, even 1 cup of garri you can manage. But if you go extra mile, your economic status is not high, and you give birth to 5, 6, 7 children. 1 mudu of garri cannot do them at a spot. So, if this law can be made that each family, each couple can have like 2 or 3 children, due to this, you see, we have insecurity now, coupled with this hard cost of living in Nigeria. So if this law can be made, it will go a long way in helping us in this issue of child trafficking.
All right.
Thank you.
Kwasa Vincent, thank you. We appreciate you. You are entitled to your opinion. That's entirely, but that's okay. We appreciate you for calling in birth control. We hope that should address it. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning, Target Radio.
Morning. Thank you for joining us.
And I greet all the panelists in the studio.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Agatha also Paul at Chusabako Baptist High School.
Good to have you join us, Agatha also. Make your
Thank you so much. You know, every parent is happy see his or her child grow up in a good way. But sometimes the issue of insecurity, herdsmen and farmers crisis has caused a lot to some parents that lost the fathership or the mothership to stand for their children. Some have been pushed out of their houses or their home and they are stranded, and some are in the IDP camp. That is where you see some has run to come and meet their relation in other parts of the state, that you see people come around and then see them going about looking for what to do or job to do, that they got access to those children. And again, the communal crisis in the state has caused a lot because some parents are being killed and those children have nowhere to go. They don't have any relation or a good parents or any relation that will take good care of them. And these people got access to them to take them to other parts of the country to deceive them. And, you know, as a child, when they tell them good things or giving them by sometimes seeing them doing help to them by giving them some money or soap or cream and all about, sometimes they got used to you and these people will take them away easily. So these are some of the causes that have made these people got access to those kind of people to try fake them to other parts of the state. So if government will look into this issue of insecurity and insurgents and all that, this will help a lot to make sure those children are in good shape. And you know, some, again, because of some parents have got old, some have retired into service, and issue of not paying them on time, the issue of pension, some has lost hope and their children are just roaming anyhow. So government should look into this matter to take care of some of the retirees, and then they will stand well to sponsor their children in education. And again, if government can introduce free education into the primary and secondary schools, some of those children will not be going about trading or hawking on the street, that they will got access to this kind of people. Right. Thank you so much.
Paul, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for calling in. The number to participate is 0814-335-9292. The SMS line is also available, 0912-699-9404.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning and welcome to Perspectives.
Yes, good morning. You are speaking with Michael Sesu, the head of state, calling from Bayongwe Manda.
Okay, good to have you, Sesu.
Yes, for me, I want to mention the two causes of child trafficking: unemployment, job opportunity, and insecurity. In job opportunity, if government create job opportunity where people will be employed, and then parents who don't have jobs will be employed, and they will have the financial buoyant to train their children. There will be no way for somebody to just come in and convince them to take away their child and then to give give out that child to somebody who they don't know. And then insecurity is another major cause of child trafficking. Coming to our local government, Makurdi and Goma, these people are these local governments are the local government that are facing this challenge. Insecurity caused them. People live from Goma to Way. Living from here to that place, they decide to send their children to people who are coming from big cities because they don't have a way to feed them. So insecurity and job opportunity, unemployment they are the causes of child trafficking. If government can walk into these areas, this would be a stop to that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we appreciate you. Anyway, we should also go beyond government and know what the parents on their own part too can do, because the strategy and what we are discussing is how we can curb it, especially during this approaching festive season. Good morning, and thank you for holding on.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for joining us.
Brother Makurdi, calling from Welfare Quarter.
Makurdi, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So my greetings to the panelists in the house here.
Yes, they are nodding here in response.
Okay, so I grew up in Aba and then Lagos. This trafficking of 18, it has been there, but it keeps taking on different dimensions. We that grew up in the big cities after the Civil War, we had cases like that, but it was not as rampant as it used to be now. And I can remember our parents constantly warning us, don't talk to strangers, don't accept any gift from strangers. When you close from school, come back home immediately. Don't accompany your friends to their houses, all that kind of warning. They constantly pull our ears, our parents, like people say, I'm pulling your ears. So they keep warning us of this. But when I came to Benue, I discovered that the parents are a bit lax with the children. Like me, I cannot stay for 30 minutes if I don't see my child. Where is this one? Where is this one? But sometimes I'll see little children as young as 2-year-old. You see them walking around the streets unaccompanied. They would, for hours, you wouldn't even see the parents asking after them. So I used to kind of situation is this. So when they say Benue has become a hub, I was not too surprised, because I know that these traffickers will notice that the parents around this area, maybe because of the security people enjoy here, we down south, we are used to this kind of woo-woo life, as we call it. So we are very careful.
Yes. So what can we do to correct this, especially on the part of parents, like you stated?
Yeah, so the parents should be made aware that there should be constant supervision. They should know at every moment in time where their children are. Because I have seen a child where I'm staying, the child, 2 years old, the child will just come, enter into our compound and stay for up 31 hours. Nobody will even ask for that time. So the parents should be constantly aware, attentive where their children are.
All right.
And sometimes children will close from school. You see a child in what they call it, prep, going back home alone on the street, crying, 2 years old, walking alone. Nobody following the child, and so those kind of situations
all right.
Parents should be made aware of that. They should be very active to the whereabouts of their children.
Thank you very much. Thank you for calling in, Emeka. Well, like Emeka stated, before now, people, especially that Benue is known for its hospitality, people could feel free to allow children. But I think the times are changing. So with the syndicates praying and not coming around, we should up again. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Perspectives.
Yes, Emeka Nyog from North Bank, Makurdi, NAPTIP.
Good to have you, Emeka Nyog.
And Oga, on the trial, they're easy for Nigeria today. All these things when we they talk, say, because of hardship, will make you, when born picking, you go live out. Somebody go carry and go train them for you. I don't think whether God will talk like that. I think we like this. The first thing you have to think, God has given you a child. You know why he gave you that child. And you know that you can train it. That is why God gave you. No need of you giving to another person, because that person cannot help you. Say, for example, where I am living, there is one woman, every time you go to beat a small pikin. If you ask him, he say, He say, na him brother pikin, na him sister pikin. So it ain't like him to do him anyhow. Who will go to tell and say, why you they do that type of thing? No good. So it's not good for you to carry a pikin, go G. The time when you marry a wife, or the time when you they make girlfriend and boyfriend. God can't give on a pikin. You know why he gave it to that pikin. So I am of the opinion, this NAPTIP, giving out pikin, or people stealing your pikin, it is the way you do. If you stay with your pikin, or you advise your pikin, they will not enter. When you get up like this, you see small pikin, they go wear clothes of 50,000 naira. Where he get that money? You see pikin with shoe of 30,000 naira. Where you get that money? You go say na small. My pikin don't they do better things. You know they do better things. You don't know the type of thing when they do before you go get those things. Sometimes they go take and they bring them inside. They draw them nearer. The next time when you go hear them, you go hear say they dey for Ghana. And by the time they enter Ghana, you know the thing will go happen. Some of them go die. So I am of the opinion that when you born pikin, take care of your pikin. God no make mistake before you give you pikin. So my own be say, I beg parents, you when you go carry a pikin, you go carry the pikin. Leave am say make you go school, they don't sabi road. E no good. You go dey follow your pikin, they go school. You go dey carry your pikin, they come back. God won't give you no do mistake.
All right.
And at the same time, another thing when I go talk, you dey talk about government. Yes, government they try on their own part. Government go do free education and other things. Government go do am. But you when you born pikin, now you go take care of your pikin better. Even in the school self, before they close, you go there. You go know whether your pikin don't close or your pikin no there. Before somebody else, you go carry your pikin. And you go watch all these Okada people when you see them, you go say, carry my pikin, go school.
Thank you.
Okada man when you tell and say, carry your pikin, go school. You go in your house.
Thank you,
So
Emeka.
the next thing when you go do, you say, I beg, make everybody join hands together. Same pikin. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you too. Thank you for calling in. It's the season of Emeka. The other caller was Emeka, and another caller followed. Who is Emeka? Let's know whether it's another Emeka on the line. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives.
Hello.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
I hope I can back on Agate Radio.
Very well. On to Perspectives.
Thank you very much. I am Comrade Jacob Tezu Asheka, calling from Tayango.
Good to have you, Asheka.
Thank you very much. My greeting to the guests in the studio. The issue of this trafficking. If you can trace back, the issue of a thief man. In those days, a thief man used to have so many wives and so many children. Because that time there was nothing like any. Now that education has come into being, we want our children to be trained. But the school that can train your child, that then you have your child something to do, like technical schools or science school like this, their school fees is cost. And ordinary secondary school, if your child completes the secondary school, it doesn't make money. Even if he graduated from secondary school, it doesn't make money. So my own opinion is that government should declare from primary to secondary education free, just like Adamawa State government did recently. So our government should do it that way. Because those people that are from Naka, from Bajiba, and the rest of them that are running because of this insecurity, will enjoy. Because if you son after graduating from secondary school, we have something like wedding, like terrorly, like something doing, so that nobody will now have, and they can help the younger one from back, that follow them from back, even when their father is not become old. They will have something to do to cater for the young one behind. But if it is not like that, now this thing will continue to go on.
No,
So
we don't want it to continue to go on. That is why we are sensitizing people. Thank you. All the same. Thank you very much.
That is what my opinion. Thank you very much.
Jacob Asheka, thank you. To what extent people believe that free education will correct it? We hope the authorities should act and implement that. Good morning. You're on, but you're barely coming up. Could you speak up so we hear you?
Okay, good morning.
Morning. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning to the guests in the studio.
Yes, I am the spokesperson of the guest. So once I say good morning, it covers everybody. So we save time.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
My name is Kayo Telanga. I'm calling you from Batiri.
Good to have you, Kayo Telanga from Batiri, Vinguku local government.
Yeah.
Very well.
So, my own is a suggestion and advice together. This you see, people are talking about it's a wake-up call for we Benue people and thief, of course. Because when a thief man leaves his or her children and went to the farm, he or she don't care about how the children, whether they are living fine or they are in the compound. They will leave them some. Some of them, I used to see them. They used to go to a long distance to go and play. And if you see how they are there, you will be wondering. So if this happens in the township, these people, they will easily have access to do whatever they want to do to them. So my own advice is this: let a team try and be security for he or her children. When I was in Imo State, they used to tell their children, don't go out until I will come back. And if they are inside, they will lock everything that concerning doors or everything that has padlock. They used to lock it. But here, everything is open. So my own, I don't want to even call the name of government. I'm talking precisely for our people. Let them try and change the way of handling their children in their houses.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we hope you will step down this sensitization awareness in Batirif. I believe so.
Thank you. I will do so.
Thank you, Kayo Telanga. We appreciate you. Okay, so the people are saying what beyond government, parents and guardians in communities and even the teenagers on their own part should do as well. So that's the focus. Good morning. Hello. Okay, we lost connection with our caller. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives. Oh, it does appear there's a glitch with the network, but the line is open and we're available to engage in with you. Good morning. Hello.
Morning, sir.
Morning. Thank you for joining us. Your network is breaking. Kindly change your position so we hear you better.
Can you hear me?
Very well. Speak on.
Okay, this is the voice of
Oh, I'm sorry. We may have to disconnect with you. Your voice is really not coming up. Kindly try to call back if you may. The line is still available. Good morning. Okay. All right. I think we are gradually getting to... The SMS line is also available, 0912-699-9404. If you're not able to get through to the call line, simply send us an SMS to 0912-699-9404. 0912-699-9404. That's the line. Once again, it's also available on WhatsApp. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
I'm calling from Western Quarters. My name is Prince Joseph.
The name is who?
Prince Joseph.
Okay, we would like to know your full name. I think Prince is a title.
Okay. Joseph Ejike Okoro.
Good to have you, Joseph Ejike.
Thank you. I'm very sorry to start like this. I have such an incident of which a man, I don't know whether NAPTIP do treat that or there is a case, a section that they have that treats such case. A man, I've been referring people to that very place, though through their agent. For this very one, I think I was disappointed.
Okay, Ejike, I think you want us to get the real picture. So referring to which place and about what in particular? Let's if you may be specific.
Okay, there is a case I referred to the NAPTIP there. And it's a critical case, and they pushed the case away, said it's a police case, and they could not help. And besides, the lady child is an orphan, and up to now, the number of the girl is not gotten. She's going to hang herself. I tried to reach her, I couldn't. And those people, they pushed that lady away, and if they asked the authority, they knew the case,
Ejike,
and it's very unfair.
Ejike,
sir,
you reported to NAPTIP office. And when was this?
Yes, so should I say how the scenario happened?
No, we are not interested in the scenario.
Okay, now, the lady, I directed the lady there to go. And when the lady got there, he met the people at the gate. I think she said, allow her in. And after the lady finished narrating her ordeal, They now sent her to go to the police that they are not the appropriate quarters. Even when the lady says she's enough and you have nobody to intercede for her. And when she came back, I was handcuffed because I didn't know what to do. And now, up till now, I couldn't get the lady.
I think, HK, this is an allegation you are just making that you are not able to prove it well. So maybe we'll allow NAPTIP to ask you to come to the office and explain the scenario again. You say you directed the lady. At the point you said you reported. Case. And when we asked that you prove the evidence, you say you directed the lady. So I think we should stop at that. And maybe before we conclude, NAPTIP will respond to that and give you the address where you can come and engage with them if it is something they may take up. All right?
It's okay. But I think they should do without leaving because I am dead.
I'm sorry, HK, we have made the points because it's really a conflicting situation. If we allow you the time to narrate the scenario,
There's nowhere to report cases.
Yes.
You should come to the office.
Very well. Hello, good morning.
Nathaniel.
Good morning, welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. My regards to your guest in the studio.
Warm regards to you.
Thank you very much. This is Vincent Akko. This time I'm calling from Mobile Barrack.
Okay.
Yes, I want to ask, the PRO said we all are involved in child trafficking. I want to know how we all are involved because she said it earlier on from her initial statement, her first statement. She said we all are involved in child trafficking. So I want to know how we all are involved. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Vincent. Vincent wants to know. Maybe he wants to exonerate himself for not being involved. So you are going to tell us the extent to which all of us are involved. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Welcome.
Hello.
You are on. Speak to us.
Okay. This is Aloche Isabella from Naka.
Good to have you, sir.
Yeah. Naka, as you people were discussing, Naka is a mighty hub for trafficking because of the IDP camp. For one time or the other, a child was trafficked here, and we waste time and tried our best to get the child. Immediately after a day, it was discovered the child was in Bayelsa. They struggled and struggled until we were able to get those people concerned and arrest and bring here. And NACA should be a reference for them to come and sensitize because it is a hub, a mighty hub. Thank you, sir.
Okay, and Elisha Sabla, before you go, with our sensitization now, I believe you may also assist a step down the message. That is why we are here on the radio.
Yes, I have heard you, and my people around, I told them that there's a program going on, so they should also listen. So they're also listening.
All right. Thank you very much. We appreciate you for calling in.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. NACA should not continue to be a hub, like Aloysius stated, although he tied it to the IDP's situation. So we are going to hear from you how you plan to address the concern in NACA. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Welcome.
I'm fine. I love the program.
We appreciate you.
Felix.
The name is who?
Shadow Felix from Twaju, where is local government of the.
Okay, Kiado Felix. Did you say Kiado or Chado?
Kiado, that's KYADO.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Felix.
In fact, I love the program because this program is keeping enlightening people on what to do at home. In fact, I have an issue. I love the way people have been discussing. So I need the number, the NAPTIP number. So when I get the number, I will report a case. I have a case in my village that is similarly to what is happening.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, you are on, Felix.
Yeah. So I will need the number at the end of the program. Please.
Sure. You listen on, you surely get the number. Thank you, Felix.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah, we appreciate you. All right. So if you have a case, of course, feel free. Wherever you the platform, as you listen on NAPTIP, should tell us how you can report to them, and your situation will be looked into if it is a case that is within the purview. Good morning. Okay, we lost connection with that caller. Let's pause here for a while. And okay, the line is never stopping to buzz. Hello, good morning. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Mr. Nat.
Thank you for joining us.
Comrade Mike Teyima Nyekura, all the way from Bakuan Council Ward, but Boku local government area of Benue State.
So many titles. All right, Nyekura, thank you. Hi, Swatiri Bakwen this morning.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah.
To keep it brief, Mr. Nat, talking about child trafficking here in Nigeria, most especially in Benue State, I opinion that all the security agents must collaborate with the NAPTIP and work hand to hand, even in the traveling parks.
Could you move away from your radio set a bit, Michael?
Okay, let me do.
Yes.
And to work hand to hand, even in the traveling park and at the checking point, so as to investigate and monitor all those travelers and interview them. Who is this child? Where are you taking her to? And if there is no relevant information given, that traveling must be stopped and report to the appropriate technology.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I hope there are no cases in Bakwen, in Batirif, right?
No, not yet.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Nyekura, for calling me. Let's pause here for a while. I will begin with a concern by Vincent Ako, how we all are involved in trafficking. Mrs. Yaji, will help Vincent to understand your context better. I'm sure I got better.
Okay, thank you very much, Nat. And then to Vincent, I didn't say all of us are involved in child trafficking. I only mentioned that the issues of human trafficking, it's everybody's business. And we all have to put our hands on deck to curb this menace. That is, you are now aware that human trafficking is around your locality. So you are now a vanguard. So how do you work with us? Report cases of human trafficking, try to sensitize people around you, let them know that traffickers are people within us, not far from us. Thank you.
Okay, Vincent, so I believe you listen to that. But on a general note, Oche, you listen to the callers. To what extent do you gauge the awareness of the subject matter in their community of issues of trafficking and how it can be curtailed in their communities?
Okay, so from all we've heard, we could see that people know what we are saying. People are aware of what we are saying. Why the talk was going on, I remember that one aspect of trafficking we didn't mention is organ harvesting. And that one is becoming very, very rampant.
One of the new trends.
Yes, it's really the new trend. They are lured, knowingly or unknowingly, their organs are harvested and then they are paid, huge sums of money. So I think it's a sign that yes, the public is getting enlightened. People are beginning to be aware. But I would like to say that the focus should not just be on the government alone, in curbing this menace. Like the PRO of NAPTIP have said, it's everybody's business. We are all involved. And we must all champion the fight because, like I said earlier, if it doesn't infect you, in a way, it's going to affect you.
All right. So, in fact, when you mentioned this particular point of organ harvest, I remember attending a seminar and someone mentioned that sometimes these people could even disguise going to scout for young boys in the name of enrolling them into football academies. So it is one of the strategies?
We have a case currently. We're bringing that to NAPTIP very soon. We're about concluding investigations on that. It's a quick approach because sport is one of the trending things currently in town. and we all watch European soccer. So you have this football skill, and somebody is coming to promise you that I'm going to get connections for you to go and play in Europe. Okay, so it's a very quick catch, particularly for young boys who are into sports. We have a case that we are dealing with currently. We've been able to rescue 2 victims from that particular club. We're concluding investigations. We've called NAPTIP. We've told them. We're getting ready to take our reports to them too. So it's real. It's ongoing.
Sorry, and I'll add quickly, and schools taking children for excursion.
Just a moment. Just a moment. Hold on. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. I guess the network is friendly to me now.
Welcome.
Thank you. This is the voice of Ado Batlomi Tifa from the Chamba. This time I'm calling it the Makurdi.
Okay, go ahead, Tifa. Hello, Batlomi, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Speak on.
Okay.
Hello.
Oh my God.
I am afraid, Batlomi. I'm really sorry. It's not our fault. Okay, Mrs. Yaji.
Just to
schools
add,
taking children for excursion.
Just to add to what you said, apart from the football academy, we have schools taking children for excursion. You must have clearance from NAPTIP before. I think one of the measures NAPTIP has put in place for that particular one, some schools go for excursion abroad. So you must clear before embassy give you visa for those children. And so.
All right. So those schools that want to go international, so many international schools are around us. So, hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Nathan.
You are on. But you sound so low. Would you speak up a bit so we hear you?
Can you hear me now?
Very well. May we know your name and where you're calling from?
You are speaking with Jonah Benjamin, calling from Naka.
Welcome, Jonah Benjamin.
Yes, I thank the girls in the studio. Amma, you see a question?
Yes.
Yes, for instance, now, if you discover that someone trafficked a child, so that child is struggling with that theft. So where can you report to the people?
Okay. Have you have discovered a case, or you are just speaking in general sense, Jonah? Because someone earlier mentioned that Naka is a flashpoint.
Yeah, there are so many problems like here. That's why I called you.
Okay, listen on. We are going to avail you the platforms and, of course, the numbers, offices, and all that. Thank you, Jonah.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Let's take some messages before we come back. This one says, I am Ilza Mebel from Achusa in Makurdi. Good morning. Parents should stop child hawking. And if you must give your child out to anyone, please do find time out to go and check on them. Thank you. Yozal Mebel, we thank you for sending it. This one says, I love you guys on the program. I'm Kusa. Okay, Kusa, thank you. We appreciate you. Unfortunately, you didn't tell us where you're from. We love you too. This one says, we should watch and join forces against crime, child trafficking, and promote a stay safe for children. Utsua Isaac from, say, Jime in Anchihag in Goma. Okay, so Isaac, thank you for your message. We appreciate you for contributing on the program. Another one here says, okay, unfortunately, okay, that's not related to our program. It's a different message entirely. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, my brother.
Welcome.
Yes, I'm Peter Pila. I'm calling you from IDB Square here in Makurdi State.
Good to have you join us, Peter Pila.
I want to sincerely appreciate your guest. It's a very important program. Let me put it in summary. That we have heard about trafficking, always hearing about human trafficking. Have series of programs. We have also listened. My advice to the public and then the people who are involved. Let me start with myself. Me that I'm contributing. Am I a trafficker? And then if you are involved, you should reflect for one thing. The people that you are having, better release them. That is the only way, so that you have favor with God. So that God will forgive you. But if not, they are very assured God's wrath await you.
All right.
And parents should be very careful. When you give birth to children, don't just send them out. The essence of parents or parental is their responsibility is to cater for the children, to discipline the children, and to take care of them. Imagine sometimes people will give birth to children and then begin to send them out. That is not the essence of family. Except somebody died and then somebody wants to put in a helping hand. It's a different case. So parents must be very conscious of this fact that no matter what you have the resources, try and take care of your children whom God has given to you.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. Parents should try and take care of their children. We appreciate you for calling. We are really running out of time now. We must have to conclude with you. But one more call before we wrap it up. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Morning, Mr. Nat.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, this is Magdalene. I'm calling you from Yakio.
Good to have you. We are glad that a woman called in on the program eventually.
Thank God. I've been trying. I called earlier and didn't pick. I want to suggest again that there is need for more sensitization in public schools. Because if you look around, most of these private schools, children who attend those schools are rich men children. They take them to school and bring them back home. But when it comes to the public schools, most times children they bring from the villages. Giving your child, let her or him be with me to help me in the house. So no one cares if they go to school, if they eat before going to school or not. These children can be easily deceived. Your child is going to school without food. Someone will easily give him biscuit or sweets. He has won the child's attention and can be taken to anywhere. Maybe the person might tell him or her, look, you need to be treated better. I will take you out and do this for you and do that for you. I don't know if you are getting my point.
Very well.
This schools needs to, there is every need for more sensitization in public schools.
All right.
The emphasis should be in public schools and even in the market, so that these women selling in the market will know that there's every need for you to always keep an eye on your children.
Thank you,
because they should be going to school in pairs and coming back in pairs, so that when one of them is not amongst you, know that something is wrong.
Thank you, Magdalene.
This is my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you. That will be the last call we'll take because we do not have time on our hands anymore. We appreciate you sincerely for calling in. Now, beginning with you, Mr. Oche, in terms of orphanages, you know there are some orphanages that operate. What measures do they need to tighten up around their orphanages to protect children from being vulnerable to traffickers?
Okay, so first of all, every orphanage has to be registered with the government. That's a very serious measure to take. We of course know some illegal orphanages operating as recruitment centers, and also sensitizations are being carried out in orphanage homes as well too, so that even the children in the orphanage get to know that because sometimes desperation is what causes even the victim to fall prey for trafficking. So our NACTA partners because some of our NACTA partner members have shelters for orphans and vulnerable children. Okay, so we keep this registered, we keep the sensitization going on with them as well.
Okay, Mrs. Yaji, what support services are available for rescued children when you rescue them from trafficking?
Oh, well, for us at NAPTIP, we have a shelter, a closed shelter for victims of trafficking. When they are rescued, they take them there. And we have all services rendered to them from health to psychosocial to counseling and rehabilitation and empowerment.
Okay, and now let's look at the ways of reporting again. So many persons who called in here asked where they can report. Let's avail them the platforms, the numbers. We are gradually trying to draw concluding thoughts. So let's get this as an important aspect of it before we go into concluding issues.
Okay, for NAPTIP office is located at plot 1522 Victor Malu Crescent, New GRA, Makurdi. And our hotline start with the short code, which is *627. And our other toll-free line is 070-30000603. And then for network against child trafficking,
call the numbers gently,
okay,
in a way that somebody who is listening and may want to write it down.
Just in case you don't want to call us, our office is located at plot 1522 Victor Malo Crescent, New GRA. And our short code number is *627#. *627#. And our toll-free line is 070-3000, that's 4 zeros and then 603. Then I'll allow my NACTA brother, just call your number.
Okay, so for NACTA,
you can report cases.
Yes, of course, you can report cases. NACTA has partnership with NAPTIP. Okay, so NACTA can make arrest and refer cases to NAPTIP.
But by the way, when you say NACTA can make arrest, so many persons make arrest in this country. Are you empowered by law?
No, I think what you don't make arrest, you rescue.
We rescue.
You rescue.
We rescue and then refer.
Refer, yes.
Okay. Don't mind me, because
no, I understand what you mean.
Yes.
So we rescue and refer, but there are cases where we could equally contact law enforcement agents, okay, who go to make the arrests.
Yes. So maybe provide the platforms where possibly people can draw your attention, call you if there are issues.
For NACTA, if you have issues, just call 080-680-82868.
Yeah, take it again.
080-680-82868.
All right. So this is for everyone who have listening and those who particularly asked to where they can report. In case there is any concern, feel free to reach out to the various numbers provided. And of course, NACTA has an office somewhere that people can walk into. And if people want to join the network more, what can they do?
Okay, we don't have a physical office here in Makurdi.
You operate at large.
Yes, we operate at large.
Okay.
We're a coalition of civil society organizations. But we have several of our partner members who are in Benue State, some in Otupo, some in Benue, some in Boko, and spread out into various places. So we have several NGOs who are partners with NACTA, like Teenagers Care for Sustainable Development Initiative, Restorer of Path Care Foundation is in Otupo, Glorious Things Ministry is here in Makurdi. So some of our organizations who are part of NACTA. So anywhere you see them, you can report cases as well.
Okay then. Mrs. Yaji, we have your concluding thoughts on the part of parents, government, and of course, all stakeholders together.
Well,
in particular, as this festive season approaches, so that we don't get to have a spike of more cases.
Yes, my final message remains that we should be all vigilant, both the security agencies and the parents, and know where our children are going, who they are with, encourage open communication, and be intentional about us so that together we can make this festive season a safe one for our children.
Okay, so from you, Mr. Oche.
Okay, I would like to say that, please, we are not saying parents, don't give your child out. We know times are hard. Maybe you may want the kids to travel to go and do holidays somewhere. We're simply saying that in case your child has to move, you should pay attention. How is the child moving? Who is he contacting? Who is he meeting? There must be that arrangement. So parents, security agencies, transport companies, let's all be at alert at this season, because this is the hub of it. Let's all be alert. And finally, to say that, please, curbing child trafficking is everybody's business. Thank you.
curbing child trafficking is everybody's business, and that is why we at Agate Radio here care so much about this. And as part of our corporate social responsibility, we have availed this airtime, these 2 straight hours, to give you a sensitization on this issue towards addressing it at this particular time. I'm grateful to my panelists on the program, Public Relations Officer, National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, Makurdi, Zonal Command, Mrs. Torkwase, Yaji. Madam, thank you so much, very much for coming on Perspectives.
Thank you for having me, Nat.
Jimmy Oche is a member of the Network Against Child Trafficking and Labor. Oche, thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure.
Dear listener, that's our program today. Thank you for your listenership. We're always here because you are there. Join us next week, Monday, for another interesting edition of Perspectives. Today is Friday. We call it Thank God It's Friday, DGIF, but we in the media, we're always here. Join us next week. My name is Nathaniel. Now have yourself a great weekend. Bye-bye.